Hey everybody, it's been a while since I've made one of these mains videos, so I thought I would just go over what all of my mains are in this video as of right now. I don't expect a lot of these to change in the near future, so if my mains do change at some point in the future significantly, I'll make another one of these videos, and I'll also be going over kind of what I typically average on each event. So we'll start off with my main events, which are obviously 3 through 7, as I'm sure a lot of you know. So 3x3, right now my main is the Maglev RS3M 2021. My two WRM 2019s were kind of starting to die on me, so I had this and I started using it and was getting good time, so I've just kind of been using it since. And it's the Pro Shop version, by the way. And 3x3 I'm a little bit inconsistent on, but I can probably get like 7.5 to 8 or so. I really need to work on my 3x3 because I have not been doing the best in it lately, but that's probably because I've been focusing a lot on 4 through 7 in recent times. 4x4 I use the Max GTS2M. I typically average like 28 on this. That's given like a fair amount of parities, so like in an average of 5, maybe like 4 to 7 parities or so. And I like this cube so much that I actually got a second one recently, which is basically my backup at this point. Alright, 5x5, I use the Mystic MGC 5x5. I typically average like maybe 53, 54 or so. I really would like to get that to sub 50 pretty soon, but it's just been a bit difficult to improve. But this is definitely the one that I like using. My Altron WRM was kind of starting to die on me, so I started using this one. And I even got a Max version, which I use as my backup. The Max one right now is a little bit too fast for me, although I haven't used it a whole lot since I got it. But this one is a little bit slower, but I feel like it's a little bit more controllable. But I can definitely see myself switching to the Max version if it starts to work better than this one for me. 6x6 I use the Pro Shop MGC 6x6. Typically average like maybe 140 or so. I would like to maybe get that down to like consistently getting like 135 or so, or even eventually get down to sub 130. And I even got a Max version of this because I like this one so much. And I don't use the Max version just because this one just seems to work for me just a little bit better, you know. And so, but I do use the Max version as a backup. And then 7x7, I use the Max MGC 7. I typically average like 230. You know, I can get like 225 if I'm doing good, but I am horribly inconsistent on 7x7, unfortunately. And I would like to get to sub 220 pretty soon. Like I can get those, you know, on a good day, but I can't seem to get them consistently. So I would like to find a way to get those on a consistent basis. And I do have another MGC 7x7, but it's just the it's one I set up like when these first came out, like almost 2 years ago. Yeah. So those are my main events, and now I'm going to move on to the side events that I do not care about so much. 2x2, I use the, I forget what this one is called. It's like some, like Maglev Moyu 2x2. It was a quite recent one. I just can't remember the name off the top of my head. But I really have not done 2x2 in like years, and usually I can get like a 3.5 average or so on 2x2, but I've just been way too lazy to like try to get faster, and I guess I just don't like how like luck dependent 2x2 is, but you know, this is the one I would use whenever I do compete in 2x2. And then 3x3 blindfolded, I'm still using my Worm 2019, and of course I swapped the center cap so that there's no logo on this when I use it for blind. And I mentioned that this is the one I used to use for 3x3. It's still pretty good. It was just for 3x3, it was like just not working very well for me anymore for whatever reason. But I still use it for blindfolded because I don't really know what else I would use. And you know, blindfolded, I am horribly inconsistent at it, but if I can get a success, it's usually like maybe 2.5 to 3 minutes or so. But yeah, I have not put in the time to try to get better at blindfolded, like getting successes more often and such. But maybe I'll do that at some point, who knows. And then 3x3 one-handed, I use the Max WRM 2021. Basically, I started using this one because I realized for one-handed that if my cube is too fast, I can't turn very accurately. But this one I notice is like a little bit slower and takes a bit more force to get a turn going, which is kind of what I like. Because like with this one, like it's just too fast and like stuff like that happens on this one, on where I like overshoot. And part of that might just be that my turning is not the best for one-handed, but this one I had in my collection, and it's just been working very good for one-handed. And I want to say I averaged like 16 or so on one-handed. You know, I think maybe at some point I will try to get a little bit faster at it because it's one of my worst rankings right now. And it's one of 3 events I have not yet won at a competition yet. But maybe we can change that in the near future. We'll have to see. And then Scube, I'm using the Angstrom Ganscube. Typically I can average like maybe 5 seconds or so on Scube, but again this is more luck dependent. And I have the new Wingy V2 Scube on the way, but I do not have it at the time of making this video. So it's possible that I might start using that one over this one if I like it better, but it's kind of unclear, you know, if I'll like it better than this one. Like, I've heard it's good, but we'll have to see which one I prefer using. But this one I've been using for like about a year since I got it, and it's been doing very good for me. Square one, I'm using this Isaac Square one. I haven't gotten to compete with this officially, but it's so much better than my other square ones. I feel like I don't lock up as much on this one, and I can turn much faster. Oops. Because as you can see, my turning is not the best on square one, and I think that's been one of the biggest reasons why I haven't been doing well in square one. But honestly, this is like my worst event, and if I am doing decent, well, at least before I got this, I was getting like maybe 20-second average or so. But you know, nowadays with this one, you know, even with if I get parity, I can usually get like an 18 or so. But I haven't timed myself seriously on this one in a little bit, so I don't really know what to say. But when I'm able to use this officially, we'll see what happens. But this is definitely the square one I would recommend getting, because it like fixed a lot of the lockup problems that I was having. You know, like I still do have them because I never really learned how to turn a square one very well. Maybe I should find a video on like finger tricks for this, but anyway, that's what I would use for square one. Megaminx, I'm using the Yoo-Hoo V2, the max version. I averaged like 105 on this. I really want to get my sub 1 average, but it's like I need to like not have like any mistakes, and I find I'm very prone to making them on Megaminx, so maybe I need to practice a bit more. And I do have the Max Diane Megaminx, but the reason I use this one is because the Diane Megaminx I think is a little bit too small for me, and the grip isn't as nice as it is on this one with these like sort of ridges. If the Diane Megaminx was like scaled up and had like better grip, I probably would be using that one. But I use this one just because it's like easier to grip and I don't mess up as much because of that. Yeah. And then for Pyraminx, I use the Steven Waylong Pyraminx, I think. It's a relatively new Pyraminx, and I haven't really practiced Pyraminx in forever, and my turning is a bit lacking on it, but you know, if I'm doing decent, you know, and the scrambles aren't too hard, I can typically get like maybe a 5 average or so on Pyraminx, maybe a little bit higher, but that's kind of all I've really done with Pyraminx. So if I maybe learn how to turn it better and learn how to get faster, maybe I could improve my times. So we'll have to see if I ever find time for that in the future. And then lastly, clock. I don't think this one was a surprise, but I use the Qi clock. If you want to get a good clock, just spend the extra like $20 or so on this one over like a Shangsha or something like that, because it's like so much better and it's like easier to get faster on this. Like, I think my time's dropped by like 5 seconds or so just from getting this clock. Typically I average like 8 seconds on clock, but you know, ever since I got like my sub 8 average in clock a couple months ago, haven't really been practicing it a lot, but this is the clock I use, and if I like do a little bit of practice, I can easily get like an 8.5 average or so, but I do mess up on this quite a bit, you know, maybe because I'm not the best at clock, but anyway, there's that. And then those are all my mains and goals, or not my goals, my mains and kind of what I average on them. And these are basically all the cubes I plan to use this summer when I compete at North American and Euro Championships. And I'll also be going to German Nationals in Frankfurt this year. Hopefully I can go to some other competitions while I'm traveling this summer, but we'll just have to see where I'm able to go. But for all of you going, I look forward to seeing you all there and having a great time. So thank you all for watching, and have a great day.